Hey everybody, it's Al with BobCAD, the software company. I kind of wanted to take a quick look at setting up part zeros and using the stock wizard and how that's accomplished. So here I have my open pocket sample, and on this layer here I have just a couple of blocks. These are going to represent the vise or the fixture that we're using. So from a top view we have a vise, and then we have a part inside of the vise. Now, generally speaking, for this type of setup, the common zero position would be this back corner. This side of the vise, or this block that I have here, represents the solid jaw, and this one represents the movable jaw. And typically speaking, you'll butt your stock up against the fixed jaw, and you typically will zero off of this corner here. Okay, so once you've imported the model or the geometry you're working with, you can go through and run your stock wizard, and you know, you have the ability to adjust the size of the stock and everything else. But what I want to focus on here is picking my origin. So I have my part set up, and what I want to do is, you're typically in a top view, you want to click on rotate and rotate the model so you can get a corner view. You can go ahead and click your origin button, and then you can click on one of these snap points that have come up, and this is how I'm able to move the part from where it is, to move the zero to where I want it on the part. And again, in this case, I want it on this back corner here. Now, when you're done with the stock wizard, the origin goes away, but when you click on your machine setup, that tells you where your zero is. So that is very important. And those are the steps that you follow in order to set where you want your zero to be, and a typical zero that is used for a part being held in this type of configuration. Okay, so what I want to talk about now is how your machine definition affects the way that your G-code is posted. Your machine definition controls the kinematics of your machine and is tied into your posting. And here I have just a generic 3-axis mill. If we go to my part settings, you can see I'm on the generic BC 3-axis mill. And let's go ahead and post our code. Now, when we post our code, we can see we have X minus and Y minus in our first position here. Now, if that, when you post that code and you run it on the machine, it's inverted, or it's the opposite, the machine is moving in the opposite direction, or should I say the cut is happening in the opposite direction as what you would expect. What you can do is come into your current settings. You can go to your machine definition, and for your Y value and your X value, you see I have it set to -1 and -1. If you want to invert the value, you can set it to a positive number, and then when we repost this, we should see that our Y value is now a positive instead of a negative. If I come in here and do the same thing to your X value, we can set that to 1. And then post. Now you'll see that our X is positive and our Y is positive. So depending on the machine kinematics, whether the table moves for X, or the head moves for X, or the head stays stable, the head stays stable in a single position, in the table moves, you can adjust your machine definition in order to reflect that and get the G code formatted in the proper way.